Hi class, my name is Michelle Bird. I will be your instructor for Spch110-095 and 097 this quarter. 95 is entirely live and 097 is entirely online. So what I want you to do this week is to take a moment and get very familiar with the syllabus. And if you have any questions about anything that is in the syllabus, then what I want you to do is to contact me, and my contact information is in Moodle, and it's also can be found on the syllabus. I just want to take a moment and just tell you a little bit about myself. I attended Louisiana Tech, and what I did for my bachelor's degree was general studies with a concentration in psychology, and I know that quite a few of you are working on that as well. And when I graduated, I went on to their master's program in counseling and guidance. So now what I do is I teach psychology, and I teach counseling, and I also teach speech for Louisiana Tech. Now, one of the reasons that I really wanted to teach speech is I know how afraid that people are of it, because I was also afraid. It was one of the last courses that I took in my undergraduate work. So if you had told me I would be standing up teaching and telling people how to give speeches, I would have thought you were crazy. But anyway, here I am. I like doing this because I know how terrifying it can be. But once you know what to expect and you become familiar with it, it's really not all that terrifying at all. And what I will do in the course is to help you guys link in with your classmates a little bit more. One of the advantages that the online class has is that you guys can have as many takes as you want. It's about getting it right, and that's the biggest obstacle with giving speeches, is that people procrastinate because they dread doing it so much that they don't practice. So you can have as many takes as you like, because that is good practice in my opinion. Anyway, there will be 4 speeches this quarter. Your first one will be an introductory speech, and in that one what I want you to do is to have a brief outline, and I'll go over all of this again at the very end of this introductory here. I want you to have a brief outline, and I want you to have a visual aid, because when we give speeches, we're not only wanting to talk to the ears, we're also wanting to talk to the eyes. And if we can get other senses involved in that, that's even better. And we'll do a little bit more of that possibly with the demonstrative speech. But anyway, it's going to be 3 to 5 minutes. This is your first speech. 3 to 5 minutes. You're going to have a visual aid, something that maybe captures the essence of who you are. Like for instance, if you look around me right now, I've just recently purchased a new home, and this would be my visual aid. This tells a little bit about me, and what I've been doing is working on my house. So this is my visual aid. Also, what I want you to keep in mind on this first one, this is going to be more about getting acquainted with your classmates and with the technology for you online folks. There will be information on how to open up your YouTube account. This is how I'm going to want you to upload your videos, and I want you to be very cautious not to mark them private, because if you mark them private, I'm not going to be able to view your video, and your classmates will not be able to view them. A big part of giving speeches is watching other people give speeches. We learn from others. We not only learn by doing, we learn by watching. And that will be part of your assignment. You will actually get on and you will view other people's speeches, and you will leave them a positive feedback. I don't want anybody leaving negatives, because we're going to be working with each other all quarter. On the first speech, I'm going to give a group feedback on it, and then on the 3 that will follow, your introductory speech, which will be the first one, you will not get a individual feedback. You will get a group feedback. Then on the demonstrative, which will be the next speech, you will receive individual feedback through your email. on that one, and then also on the informative, and then on the persuasive. So you will have a total of 4 speeches you will give this quarter. Each time you will notice that the speeches progressively get a little bit longer. They get a little bit, I don't want to say difficult, but they get to where you have to do a little bit more research becomes involved, and it's very, very important that you give good references. You want to cite very good references, and we always want to give credit where credit is due. So what I will also do is I will show you how to do the works cited page, but we'll do that one more with the speeches that we'll be doing a little bit later. On this one, all you are going to need, again, this is your introductory speech. You're going to need your name on a sheet of paper and a few bullets that talk about what you're going to talk about. So let's say if you're going to talk about your family, you might have a few bullets on there that tells about your family and how it was growing up. Your visual aid could be a photograph of your family or of your children. Or if you played football in school, it could be a football, you know. And you talk about how that visual aid captures the essence of who you are. Now, what I want to do too for you guys is I want to make it where you're not as nervous, because I know you're worrying about your grade, okay? So what I like to do on this first speech, if you follow all the directions, 3 to 5 minutes with an outline, brief outline, it doesn't even have to be in detail, and you go 3 to 5 minutes, visual aid, outline, you'll have 100 on this one. I don't want you to be worried about your grade. I want you to be more concerned with getting familiar with the equipment and familiar with your classmates. So don't be worried about that. And then I'll give you more detailed information for the other speeches as we move along. I want you to know what to expect each time. You can log into Moodle, and what you will see when you do log in is that there will be videos that you can watch with examples, several for each type of speech I'm going to have you do. There will also be sample outlines of what is expected, and if you're having a little difficulty finding a topic, there's going to be pages from anywhere from 100 to 150 topics for that particular speech. And what I want you to do is review that. I will put a forum online, and what I want you to do is for each one of those, I want you to list 5 speeches that you yourself would like to watch. So what that's going to do is that's going to help us, even though we're online, to know a little bit more about our audience. And knowing what the rest of the audience might want to see could be helpful to us. So it's good to know your audience. That's the biggest part of speeches, is knowing your audience, because you don't want to get up and talk to an audience and be completely above their head or completely below them, because that could be insulting. You have 8 to 10 seconds to get the audience's attention. So in that same 8 to 10 seconds, you can lose them completely. So you want to keep that in mind, and you want a good, strong attention getter. So what I want you to do is just concentrate on doing this first speech. Don't be nervous, and there will be more details to follow. Also, what I want to tell you about Moodle, your speeches, one week we'll talk about them, the next week you will be delivering them, and then what I want you to do is to be aware and give good feedback to your classmates that will be part of your grade. And then also that speeches will be assigned always on a Wednesday at 10 p.m. at night, and when they're assigned, they will be due that following Wednesday at 10 p.m. at night. So you'll know your speeches are always going to be assigned on a Wednesday at 10, and they'll also be due on a following Wednesday at 10, unless I state otherwise on the Moodle page. Okay, guys, I look forward to spending time with you guys this quarter, and I look forward to your speeches.